Yo, my fault, y'all. I was trying to figure some shit out on my phone. Um, yeah, we live. Battle rap opinions. I was just watching the Shotgun Suge versus Ill Will. I would like to know some of y'all opinions on this shit too. Um, I have to be completely honest, man. I did expect more of what people said out of this battle, and I disagree. There was a bunch of people who sat there and said Shotgun Suge got 3-0'd, and people were saying Suge was horrible, so on and so forth. I disagree. That's also the point why, like, you gotta watch the battles for yourself. You just can't go off everybody's opinion. Of course, I give y'all my opinion on things, but it's still up to y'all to go and watch it and formulate your own opinion, especially to be able to come back and tell me what y'all would like. For you to come back and tell me, why you feel that my opinion was wrong or that your opinion is right, or whatever the case. I want to talk to some of y'all too about people being pretty upset with URL as a staff, even though Smack spoke about it. I know people are upset that URL as a staff haven't been putting out the content based on like when they do actual events. Everybody's so used to the event being out a few weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later, these dudes are putting the actual footage out. And the fact that people are sitting here really complaining as much as they are is like shocking to me. Like, I don't understand how could you complain so much about something you didn't pay for, or something that's being put out there for free. Smack has spoke about this in recent time, and he said, which I totally agree from a business standpoint. He's like, last year I think he said they had something to do with 12 or 15 events. It's between 12 and 15, he said. And he's like, I can't just keep throwing out the content for everything, you guys, especially when everyone has an opinion and everybody has feelings about this, and this, but you don't support the product. And even though they do pay-per-views the way everybody wants, I'm not saying that they don't make anything off the pay-per-view. I assume that they're not making much off the pay-per-view, and a lot of that is due to the bootlegging. Now, we all been guilty of some form of watching or supporting some form of bootlegging before. It ain't just battle rap. But this is just me. I totally understand him not wanting to put that content out, because it's like, yo, what am I gonna keep putting it out for? Like, support it. If this is what you really want to see and it was that big of a deal for you to see it, instead of you bitching that you can't see something for free, why not support it? Now, I'll be the first to say that, like, that Traffic 3 card, I didn't support it. It was, we could get into another time on why I'll talk completely on why I didn't support it. But at the end of the day, like, they're just other cards, and it's not just from from other leagues, that if I don't like the card or anything, it could be anything. If I choose not to support it, I choose not to support it. But I'm not out here bitching about when they put the footage out. And then when they put the footage out, I'm not sitting here criticizing or listen to the audio, or look at there wasn't enough promotion, you guys didn't put a trailer out, all this and this. Like, all that shit don't mean anything to me. I already know. I had the opportunity to purchase the event. If I didn't purchase the event, I can't sit here and be bitching about it. Like, that just don't make any sense. That's just backwards. You know what I'm saying? So, me, myself, I like to be at an event. If it's possible for me to do so, I will do so. But I do try to be at events. It has happened where I was at an event and still went back and bought the video on demand. You know what I'm saying? So, bottom line, the point that I'm trying to make is, if you really want to see this footage that bad, you got to remember, it's not like it's on pay-per-view for this one night. It's on pay-per-view for, most of the time, different platforms have it up for different amount of times. So let's just say, just an example, URL might have that pay-per-view available for purchase for, I don't know, 3 weeks. So if you have 3 weeks to purchase the pay-per-view, if you're that interested, buy the pay-per-view. Don't wait till they don't put it out for free for you to sit here and bitch and complain about every little thing. Like, I'm not gonna sit here, oh, they didn't put out the footage to the JC and T-Top battle, all this. No, I don't. If it was like that, if I was so stuck on that, I could have supported the pay-per-view. I'm not gonna sit here and bitch and complain about that. But on another note, I wanted to get back to the point. You know, they dropped the Ill Will versus Shotgun Suge battle, and I disagree with a whole bunch of y'all. Everybody out here talking about how Suge got absolutely killed and stomped out type shit, and I disagree. I disagree. Did I expect a little bit more from Suge because of the actual matchup, Shotgun Suge versus Ill Will? Yeah, but that was momentarily though. Like, I thought overall it was a very good battle, especially when you consider the styles and what did you get from them, what it is you wanted from them. I know when I watch an Ill Will and Shotgun Suge type battle, I want to see the aggression. I want to hear the disrespect. And when it comes from Will, because Suge, not that Suge hasn't done it, but Suge is not a comedian. Will is funny. Will is funny. He's gonna come with the comedy too and the fucking sarcasm. And to me, that's what makes Ill Will great, and that's why, like, I love to watch Ill Will battles. I was there when he battled Daylight on the RBE Pearly Gates. That was a hell of a battle, and I was happy to have been there to witness that. But let's get into it. First round, it was on Will, and I thought Ill Will's first round was what I always say about first rounds: when you go first. I feel like, well, on both sides, but I'm just saying, when you go first, you're starting off, you set the tone. You set the tone. I thought out the gate, Ill Will came with the aggression, the sarcasm, the jokes, and I thought he was there applying that pressure. He was cutting the ring off on Suge, like, nah, my man, you gonna have to fight back. You're gonna have to fight back. You have to come out the gate swinging and getting it on. That whole Jada, he started it off being funny, spitting some of Jada Kid's verse, and then telling Suge, like, why is it you could do it and I can't do it? I thought that was funny. And there's also the sarcasm. That's what makes Ill Will great, though. The sarcasm. He had a Tupac and Haitian Jack line that I don't think hit hard in the building, but especially being that he was in Cali, I thought it was a clever thing, but I don't think that crowd really got that. So is it that these people aren't that invested into the Tupac story as far as the history of the Tupac story? That's the only thing I could think of, because other than that, I was kind of just thrown off. Like, how the hell y'all didn't catch that? How that didn't get more of a reaction, or, you know what I'm saying? But even though I don't judge battles off crowd reaction, I just also noticed that, though. Like, certain lines, like, how the fuck y'all didn't go crazy over that? The Haitian Jack Tupac line was crazy. He started going in about what he'll do to Suge's daughter. Suge don't have a daughter. Suge was saying he don't have a daughter. He's like, all right, well, if you had a daughter, you know what I'm saying? And he went on to say a sugar daddy, Suge her daddy line that was fire. I like the way he did it. I thought the wordplay on that was clever. And again, it's just right up the alley of what it is Ill Will does. He had a line where he ended it saying, 40 make him lie. What he said, 40 make him lie. That's a pathological one. I'm not saying it fully how he said it, clearly not. But 40 make him lie. That's a pathological one. That pathological one is how he said it. Pathological, that pathological one, that was fire. That was fire. I probably just butchered that fucking line, and I apologize, Will. But that shit was dope. Overall, I thought that Ill Will's first round was just crazy. And then Suge goes. And Suge has a good round. And Suge, he had the line that he say, this AR will pop a willy, Ill Will willy, in the air like a bike trick. That was dope. He had the initiation line, talking about how his people will whip Ill Will's ass like he was being initiated into a gang type shit. That was dope. especially the way he set it up. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was fire, and the gang references. Then he had a baby boy reference. The baby boy line was fucking funny, and I still don't think that was good enough for that. I thought Will clearly took that first round, but the thing was that Suge had a good round, and people said that Suge was horrible in his battle, and I'm like, okay, the first round, you know, I'm trying to gauge how this is gonna go going forward, and clearly Ill Will took that, but I thought Suge had a good round. I definitely thought Suge had a good round. So we go into the second round. Second round, Ill Will, he hit Suge with a we ain't people. Suge a fake, we ain't equal. Suge a fake, we ain't equal. Equal is fake sugar. If you don't understand what that is, for people who's diabetic or older people, or people who just you know, sugar's bad for you. But either way, I thought that line was very clever, very dope, especially the way he did it with the wordplay. Excuse me. Trying to see what the hell is going on there. So the Hugh Hefner line was crazy. That Ill Will Hugh Hefner line, the you'll die, but there'll be holes all over. You'll die and leave holes all over the house. Holes. Hugh Hefner, like, that was fire. The thing is, with this round with Ill Will, is that Suge was able to edge the round. It was a very good round for Will. Again, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, how can people say Suge was that bad when, to me, Suge comes back to edge that second round? So if you thought Ill Will had a very good round, I just don't see how you thought Suge had a bad round when, to me, he edged him. And Suge had lines like, so he got into this whole, we already knew, because it comes up every battle, about the whole Proof and Detroit shit. We already knew it's going to come up. So, Suge, I guess, plays like, knowing that's going to come up, he starts going into the whole Proof shit. And apologizing for saying it to Proof, but wishing that he would have initially said it about Ill Will's family members, somebody close to Ill Will. That's fucked up to say. That's fucked up, but he definitely rocked the crowd with that one. Again, I thought that was clever, because when you anticipate what somebody's saying and then you throw something, you throw a haymaker that lands, you know, I think it's dope. Plus, everybody knows the history of the story, so I thought it was cool how he did it. He had a Pitbull line that came immediately after that. Pitbull line was dope. Where you saw about, you know, bad shit happening when pit bulls don't eat. So I thought that was real fire. Now, this might have been the line. I don't have the whole line here, but this might have been the line of for Suge for the night for Suge. And it was fire. It was really fire. And I thought it should have shook the room a little more. It did. Like, people appreciated it, but I think it should have shook the room more. Where he said, no, I'm wrong. That was in the third round, so we'll get to that. I'm sorry. I apologize. But he had a funny line where he said they're going to have to snap Will's neck to fit him in the casket. That shit was funny. And then after that, Suge ended his rounds, well, towards the end of the round, started spin a bunch of old head bars, like dissing older dudes, you know what I'm saying? Saying that Team Homie is full of old dudes, so on and so forth. It was funny the way he said it. I got Suge edging that round, as I said. You know what I'm saying? So, again, that, to me, puts an end to that. Null and voids that shit of people saying that Suge got bodied and it was horrible and it was a bad death and all this and all that. I disagree. I have him edging that second round. But Ill Will had a very good round. So we go into the third. Ill Will kicks it off. He starts daring Suge to say the shit that he said about Proof again, or to say it about a legend from their region. I don't know if he just meant the Midwest region in general or what. So you know, from there, he just gets creative with it because it seems like, all right, man, I don't want to see this shit again. I don't want to see you talk about that whole Shotgun Suge and Trick and prove shit all again. But he dares him to say something like that again, and then he turns around and tells him, I'll knock you out, knock your homeboys out, and if I don't get paid the other half of my money, I'm knocking you out. And he turns around to Smack, and he said that. And that shook the room. And everybody went crazy for it. It was a clever way because, like I said, I get tired of the redundancy. How many years are we going to hear people still talk about that Shotgun Suge, Proof, and Detroit shit? Like, when you keep crafting rounds around that, or like I said, when people with the Cortez, with the Mexican jokes, when people talk about the math and the Sirius Jones or the Dose, especially the Dose shit. Like, yo, at some point, all this gotta die. Like, nobody wants to keep hearing that shit. Here we are, like, how many years later? I don't know how long ago that was that Suge said all that shit. I'm gonna guess it was like 7 years ago. Like, what the fuck? When are we gonna put that to bed? Y'all waiting for the 10 year anniversary to put that shit to bed? So when it comes to these battle rappers, like, you don't like when somebody... Battle rappers don't like when people keep on redundant shit. Or keep bringing up the same fucking topic that everybody else does. But then they do it. So I don't understand that. So Ill brought it up. And like I said, I think what saved that moment was him turning around and telling Smack, if he don't get the rest of his money, he'll knock Smack out too. So I thought that was dope. Shotgun Suge had a dope line. This was the line that I thought was the best line from Suge throughout the battle. And that's when he said, I set him up like I double-crossed him. Headshot. He gonna have to wear snapback in his coffin. That was fire. That was fire. And he got a crowd reaction, but I thought he should have got a way bigger reaction from that shit. Especially the way he set it up. It was dope. I honestly and truly thought that was the best line from Suge of the night. But that's not a diss. That's just the one that stood out the most to me. The bad part was Suge stumbled at the end of his round and ended up cutting his round. But, and then you hear him when the battle's over, he's shaking Will's hand. He's telling Will, oh man, I was gonna pocket check you next. So I don't know what happened that made him stumble in that round. Even with the pocket check, people like that shit. Like I tell everybody, it ain't real if you ain't going in the fucking pocket. But of course, it's something that amuses the crowd. But even if he would have did that, I don't think that round was good enough to beat Will's third. So I got Ill Will taking it. I got Ill Will in the first. I got Ill Will in the third. The other thing, too, I can't remember what round it was. I think it was the second round where Shotgun Suge starts saying, like, talking about the fans. Talking about, oh, y'all just, yeah, when, like, he talked about classic street movies. And talking about people, I guess, loving it when people get shot or just vicariously living through the characters in the movie. The reason why that was an awkward thing to me, for Suge to be talking about, was that I think if you look at 90 to 95% of Suge's battles that I could think of off the top, he has a bunch of gang or violent movie references. So the fact that you would sit there and make that accusation towards the fans, like dissing them for feeling that or whatever. I understand the point he was trying to make. In a sense, I feel the same way. Like, I'm a dude from the streets. So when I see people, you know, feeling like them watching the movie, like they know what their lifestyle is like, I fucking hate that. Like, you can't compare you enjoying the movie to the shit I've been through. So I take it like, yo, that's what Suge is trying to say. The problem with that is with Suge, my man, you got how many movie references, though? How many movie references are you gonna possibly put out there and have the fucking nerve to sit there and say that to people about them enjoying that or feeling the way? Like, I don't get it. And the best example I could give y'all of that, if you go back and watch the Shotgun Suge Swave 7 battle, which I love that battle. Swave hits on that point. I believe it was either their first or second round also. And I thought Swave had a good job of breaking that whole thing down. But, I mean, you got to go back and watch that to see what it is I'm talking about. But I just thought that was kind of weird for Suge to talk about and to go at the fans about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So, bottom line, I got I got Ill Will winning this, but again, I don't think this was a bad performance from Suge the way everybody said it was. I actually thought it was a decent. It was a Shotgun Suge performance to me, except for him messing up at the end. So that's it, man. Like I told you, guys already know, as I said in the beginning, this is how I feel about people supporting the pay-per-views and complaining about when they drop the free battle on YouTube. I want to be shocked if soon you start seeing URL and them finding a way to get people to subscribe to their website, and while paying for a subscription. I'm not opposed to that. I would do it in support because I love battle rap, and I do love the product that URL gives us. And I think King of the Dot was very smart when they did the whole they did like a rewards thing, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's dope too. I gotta look into that. I was considering joining that myself. So just keep supporting battle rap, man. Like, if you love the culture, you know what I'm saying, it's cool to give your opinion, but support it. Give your opinion while supporting the culture, you know what I'm saying? And as always, let's celebrate battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it. Again, I'm supposed to be at this event tomorrow. I'm hoping that certain things that's going on right now don't prevent me. I already bought my tickets and shit like that. So if you're gonna be in the venue, I hope to see you, man. Let's chop it up. Let's talk some battle rap. You know what I'm saying? And salute to everybody. Have a good night. Have a good day. And let's see what's up with this RB event tomorrow, right? Salute to all of you guys. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the alert button. Hit the alert button. All right? Thanks for rocking with me. Salute.